Family, what is good? It's vlog time. I'm just gonna keep making vlogs. I can say a lot in a short amount of time. Keep it moving. I ain't even gonna number the shits. I'm just gonna throw up a pic of Nick Cage. Keep it moving. You know, I'm in love with the Chipotle. That's what's good. You might have already noticed, man. Versace. Shirt game, Mookie Wilson. You know what it is. Crack Lotus on titty. Pocket style tee right here. Crack. What's up, man? You got the Indiegogo. You got the motherfucking Etsy. You got the fucking Patreon. Where's my perks? Where's my shirts? If you're a real loot boy and your Patreon donations are in the G's and the K's, I might bless you with this. Chances are probably not. It's a one-of-one, super limited. Shoutouts to the homie Walter P. Blessed me with the ill silk screen right there. Closer look, you might have recognized that symbol from a shirt that I wear. Probably a little too much. Probably ought to wash that garment. You know what I'm saying? Armpits on fleek. This is from the band Gizm. Jism if you're nasty. The A is borrowed directly from that, you know, with the AK there. The AK spray all day gunplay. Bars. And, yeah, so Gizm, one of my top 5 bands of all time. Japanese hardcore from the 80s. So we got the crack there with the Lotus beneath. Very, very official. High fashion as fuck. Fubu boys, we in here. So yeah, that's what's up with the shirt. He sent me a few other things. I'm not really going to show them because they're going to go out with packages to people that I'm sending packages to. I got some cool shit. But also, if you're on following the Facebook, the Crack Lotus Facebook account, you probably already saw them. So sneak peek there. Check out the Facebook. I am upping the social media game. You know, trying to establish myself in the ether. You know what I mean? Trying to be this C-list celebrity up here. I'm playing about all that shit. Sarcasm is kind of my shtick. Also, I haven't put out a video in a while. My subs went fucking crazy. I don't know if somebody shouted me out or what on a bigger channel. Let me know if somebody did, because I'm not aware of it. But it seems like when I put videos out, I lose subs. When I have big gaps in between my videos, I gain subs. My subs are like bum 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 bum. So I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, my hair is looking wild right now. Tried to put it all back. Recorded this video already. Had to redo it. A, it was really long. B, I took a lot of shots at some YouTubers, just talking outside of my mouth, some shit I shouldn't have said probably, so I was like, I ain't comfortable with that out there. I will say, though, if you are one of these fuckboys that is just stepping on heads, you know what I'm saying, just like, you know, used to fucking talk to people, and then you're like, you're too good for them, it's like climbing the fucking YouTube ladder. If you're on that fuckery, man, don't use my head as a stepping stone. B, I ain't playing with you. I ain't with it. My circle is small. That's that. So, that said, I'm going to talk about some games I've been playing. I've been playing a lot of games, spread myself real fucking thin. But before I get into that, I want to talk about being blessed from another friend big time. So, when I was at Otakon, the last thing I was thinking about was amiibos, because I'm at a fucking anime convention. If I'm in an anime convention sweating amiibos, I don't know what that makes me, but probably a perpetual virgin. And you know I'm trying to swim in that pussy. So, I was like, fuck it, I'm not getting Palutena, you know what I'm saying, because that's when it dropped on Amazon exclusive. And I missed a couple phone calls from my boy. And I probably should have called him back. You know, when you're at the convention, you didn't have a lot of opportunities to charge my phone and shit, and I was trying to stay in contact with DMP when we got separated, so I was saving my bars. And, yeah, never ended up calling him back until I got home. Cruised over to the crib to see what was good with him, and he hit me with the amiibo, man. He just straight up was thinking about me. He was on Amazon. He was like, you know what, let me just drop this in the basket for the kid. And here it is, man. So good looking out to the homie for that. That is clutch. And I was like, well, what if I had made other arrangements to get it? You know what I mean? Because he don't collect amiibos. He don't give a fuck about all that. He's like, then it would have hit the bay. And I was like, no harm, no foul. So very, very cool. This is one of the better looking amiibos. in my opinion, and as a huge fan of the Kid Icarus reboot, I thought this was super dope. So yeah, really happy to get that. Clutch, good looking out on the Kid official. So that was crucial, but what else is crucial is playing your fucking games. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you're just buying these shits and you ain't playing them, then you're doing it wrong. You know what I mean? And you're toxic for my hobby. So get the fuck out of the pool, man. Stop pissing all over this motherfucker. I've been playing my games. Probably been playing too many games, if anything. But I want to start with the retro. This is like the third or fourth time I've played this game this year. I love it. I think this might be my favorite NES game. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this game on the channel before, but I just decided to play it again the other night, and I ended up playing it 2 or 3 times in the past couple days, and that is Vice Project Doom on the NES. There it is, official. This game is a fantastic multi-genre game, so it has, you know, your typical NES side-scrolling, what do you call it, like light platforming, light beat 'em up, you know, typical shit. You're jumping and you're killing shit, right? So it's got that. It has some FPS shit, which is done pretty well. It looks like, you know, like Operation Wolf for the FPS Punisher sections, kind of like that. But it plays pretty well, all things considered, and there is even some shoot 'em up sections in a car, which is really, really cool. And altogether, it does all those things really well. It's not like one is a lot better than the other. So when it comes to like multi-genre games on the NES, I think this and another game called Worm are both very good, but this one definitely takes the cake over Worm, in my opinion. But excellent game. Definitely check this out if you can find it for cheap, because it's one of those games that used to be like $5-10, and now I think it's like in the 20s or something. So it definitely has shot up recently, but definitely worth it. Definitely one of the most replay value of any games on the system. So had to talk about that real quick. Also, I finally beat this game. I've been trying to beat this game for like 2 years. I've actually been playing the game for like 20 years, but I've seriously been trying to beat the game for like 2 years because I'm not very good at this style of game. And that is Metroid 2 Return to Samus. I finally did it. So originally I was trying to play this on the Game Boy adapter for the GameCube. It just was not working out for me. And finally I got out the old fat Game Boy that Ducky Doo made for me, with the red like backlight, yeah, the Virtual Boy, Game Boy, and finally knocked it out, man. And this game is phenomenal. I will say one of the things I like the most about this game is actually the music. There's 19 individual tracks of varying lengths for this game that you can download, and I have done that and put it on my phone. It was pretty easy for me to find the files. Awesome. Really like the music, and it's probably what kept me going in this game when it was, you know, when I wanted to throw it through a window. This is the third Metroid game that I finished. The first Metroid game that I beat was Super Metroid back in the day. That was my favorite. Then I finished Other M, which I thought was pretty good. I liked it better than the Prime games. I know it's like sacrilegious, but I'm not really into the Prime games. And then finally this one. And between this and Super Metroid, I'd have to replay Super Metroid to find out which one I like best. But this is really good and definitely a step forward from the original Metroid, which I found to be kind of archaic the last time I played it. But that said, it has been a while. But this game is a classic. Definitely a big one off my bucket list for like games to finish, because this is a game that I just felt like I was never going to get through because I wasn't competent enough of a gamer to get through it. But finally did, felt great, and it is phenomenal. Definitely aged very well in my opinion, and I urge anybody to check this game out if you're at all interested and haven't played it, or even if you have like played through a couple levels, picked it up. definitely a game worth finishing. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Awesome, awesome game. Next is a game that I have not finished officially. If it was on the DS, I'd be finished, but this is the 3DS version that adds a whole nother scenario. So of course I'm talking about Devil Survivor Record Breaker. And initially when I started playing this game, it wasn't clicking. Something wasn't clicking, and I wasn't really enjoying it, to be honest. It wasn't like it was bad. It just wasn't really getting its teeth into me, and I put the game down for a while, and then before I went to Otakon, I picked it back up, and I was playing it while I was at Otakon, and then I was kind of pushing through it recently because Etrian Untold 2 came out, and I really wanted to play through that as soon as possible, so I've kind of, that's been hanging over me, you know, and this, I have to finish this before I can start that, is what I'm trying to say. That said, this game, something about it, man. I'm a big SMT guy, but the Devil Survivor games just really aren't my favorite. I think with the RPG and like the social, you know, something about it, I don't want to say social links, but you know, there's the dialogue, and it just seems really slow. Like the pacing seems slow to me. It's something, I don't know. It's a good game. It does everything that it does like really well. The gameplay is great. The characters are awesome. The story's alright, but it just seems like slow to me, and I guess I'm just not a big fan of SMT in a strategy game. And I felt that the first one on the 3DS Overclocked was super fucking difficult, like super difficult. And this one I felt like was kind of on the easy side, and then at the end the difficulty really ramped up like quite a bit. But now I'm at this end part and the new chapter scenario, whatever you want to say, and I think I heard somebody say it's about 15 hours, so I'm really not even that close to being finished. But something about this game is well made, and as good of a game as it is, I just don't really want to play it. I know that sounds terrible, but it's almost like I just don't even care about. As much as I like the characters, I really just don't care about them for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's nothing. It's not the game's fault. It's just me, just kind of like, you know. I just not really into it. When it comes to SMT, DMP made that video like a while ago talking about like the different types of SMT fans, and you know, as much of that video was in jest, he really did speak a lot of truths, you know, like tongue-in-cheek. A lot of that shit was really honest. And Persona, Devil Survivor, like these games are not my favorite games in the SMT universe. I'm much more a fan of like Digital Devil Saga, Nocturne, Mainline, Strange Journey, those games. And to be perfectly fucking honest, I like SMT4 way better than this game so far, despite me feeling this game has better characters. So yeah, it just feels slow, and it's as good as it is and as well made as it is. It's just, for some reason I just don't want to play it, and that's bad. And it's not the game's fault; it's my fault. I feel like I'm breaking up with a girl right now. Like, it's not your fault. It's not you. It's me. I swear, boo. You know the butt is big, and I love to hit it, but for some reason I'm looking at other butts. You feel me? So this game is like, you know, it's a nice butt, but I'm looking at the butt over there. So that is that. So yeah, before I get too far, the other butt I'm looking at is this. The only pickup I have to show you guys. I love pre-ordering games like months in advance and just paying them off like a few dollars here, a few dollars there. Because no matter what your financial situation is when the game comes out, like, you're good. You know what I mean? Like, even though I'm broke, I'm good when I pay like $3 a fucking day or something, or $3 a week or some shit, $5 a week. So this came out. Of course, it did have the Atlas tax, $50, fucking stupid. I'm sorry. At first, when I opened it, I was like, it doesn't even. It just has a CD. I paid $10 for a CD, regardless. The CD, I'm sure, is very good because the guy that composes the music for these games is official business. But then I opened it up, and the manual almost doubles as like an art book, or, you know, back in the day, the things we used to call manuals. Yeah, it has one of those, I think, in place of an art book. But either way, good packaging. Really can't wait to jump into this. So I'm almost thinking about putting Record Breaker down and just jumping into this, but part of me thinks I should just finish Record Breaker as much as I love Etrian Odyssey. So there's that. Back to the games I have been playing. I'm still playing Shenmue. Don't want to talk about that too much. But another console game I've been playing that I am almost done with, so I feel like I can talk about it. Shenmue, I want to really finish and think about before I speak on it, is considering how important that game is to people. I want to respect that. But this game I'm almost done with, and what happened is I was playing basketball, and afterwards went to my buddy's house to kind of chill out, cool off, and relax. And he's, he plays FIFA, so we go over there, we'll play some FIFA, whatever. Right now he's playing Battlefield Hardlines. That's the type of shit he's into. But I was looking at his games, and he had this, and I was like, how is that? Shadow Warrior. He's like, oh man, it's awesome. And when we were kids, me and him, we used to play stuff like Doom and Wolfenstein and Shadow Warrior on PC. So I thought that it was cool that he had this, because this is a game I've been interested in. And every time when I'm in GameStop or something, I'll pick this game up. You know how the GameStop guys are fucking looming over your shoulder, be like, that game's fucking terrible, that game's ass, blah 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 blah. I never hear anything good about this game. But I asked him, he was like, dude, borrow it, check it out. So I've been playing through this, and I fucking love it. This game is so fucking funny to me. First of all, I really like the art direction. And in the opening scenes, or the opening chapter, there's the protagonist actually makes a comment about how the cherry blossom trees and the architecture and everything is so cliche, but I thought that it looked really nice. It looks good, but at the same time is vibrant and bright as things are. It's also dark and creepy, so there's a nice juxtaposition of tone and color, it makes everything kind of pop and stand out, that I really like. So despite the graphics not being super cutting edge, bleeding edge fucking tech here, it has a great art style, and that's what I appreciate more than graphical power. So there is that. It is a FPS. I'm not a big FPS guy. I kind of lost interest in first-person shooters. During I used to play them on PC, right? So that was what I was into. Haven't really been into them since I become more of a console gamer, and I never even had a PC growing up. This is hanging out with my friends playing their stuff. Anyway, the thing about this game is it kind of reminds me of Doom BFG or Doom 3 BFG. How that game was awesome because it kind of had that nostalgia that I had for Doom and modernized it and was very playable and fun. This game does the same thing for Shadow Warrior. So like I said, it is a FPS, but your main weapon is a katana, and you also have access to other, pistols, an automatic weapon, fucking crossbow, shotgun, tons of shit. And it's a lot of fun. It's super funny, really self-aware, touches on a lot of different things in pop culture, references to Zelda and George Carlin quotes, just weird shit, and tons of Easter eggs in this game, tons of secrets. One of the things I like the most about this game is actually all the secrets in the levels. And it'll tell you when you finish a level how many secrets there is and how many you missed, and I'll look everywhere and think I was super thorough and checking everything in the level, shooting everything. In the old Wolfenstein games, you try and find all the secrets and stuff. This is the same fucking thing. And no matter how careful I am, it seems like I always miss one or two, which is cool because it gives the chapter some replay value. And some of the Easter eggs aren't even considered secrets. You'll find old pixelated, I don't know how to describe it. There's one room where you're walking and there's a hot tub, and there's an old pixelated image of one of the girls from the original Shadow Warrior, kind of naked in the hot tub, which was really cool because, despite the setting looking very modern, that particular girl is, the old school graphics. Or say there might be a wall that you can make explode and then you'll go down a corridor. and you'll go from the in-game graphics into the old school PC style graphics. So like that area of the game, that secret area, will look like you're in an old PC game. So stuff like that I really like. That is a lot of fun to me and makes exploring like really just fun to do and worth it. So yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about it. The gameplay is good. There is some like dips and peaks in the difficulty. I'm playing it on the hardest difficulty because I like to do that, because a lot of the time the difficulty trophies will stack, and you know, some trophies you can only get if you play on a certain difficulty, and you know, if you play on the highest you'll just stack all those trophies. So I do that. So I have run into some parts that were pretty rough, like in the first third of the game. I think I died like 2 times, and then when I got to the first really big boss, I can't remember if it was like a Minotaur thing, and I died like 10 times because I kept running out of ammo. But then I realized like around the edge of like the arena that you're fighting in, there's like more ammo that I didn't even realize because I was so focused on the boss fight. But so that I felt was like a little bit tough. But once I had access to the other ammo, it became a lot easier. But yeah, some weirdness in the difficulty. Like I said, the graphics aren't the best, but it's an awesome game, man. If you're into old school FPS games, this is really cool, and definitely, like, I don't know, a lot of fun. One of the most fun games I've played on the PlayStation 4. It's honest to God. Enjoyed this a lot more than The Witcher. Yeah, I'll tell you that. So I'm almost done with it. I am going to return it, and then I'll probably buy my own copy at some point, because he said it was really cheap. I think he said he paid $20 for a new copy like a few months ago, so I'm sure it's gone down. But like I said, with all the secrets and stuff, I do want to go back and make sure I find everything in the levels. So really fantastic game. Definitely recommended if you're into like kind of quirky, weird games, and if you don't mind a lot of dick jokes. So that's that. And the last game I'm going to talk about, I told you guys I've been playing a lot of games, is another game that I'm really not finished playing, but I feel like I just want to talk about the game because I don't know when the next time I'm going to make one of these videos is, and it is Lost Dimension. The last video I mentioned that I had some problems with this game crashing. That's only happened to me once since then. So it went from like 2 times in like 5 hours to like 3 times total in like 20 hours. So that's not that bad. This game is awesome. I really, really like this game. That said, it does feel kind of budget. Like, I can definitely see through the cracks in this game. There is, you know, some issues with the game. I feel like a lot of corners were cut. A lot of things could have been done better. And the more you play it, the more you notice recycled enemies. Even the dialogue options become very stale. You know, just things like that really start to, you know, rear their ugly head the more you play. But all that said, I still am having a blast. I think the gameplay is solid, and the story isn't really the greatest story in the world, but something about it like makes me want to keep playing, because the whole thing about having traders in your party, and at first I thought it was just going to be like a couple traders, but it's like most of your party is traders, and the fact that it's randomized and everybody's playthrough is going to be a little bit different, I think is really endearing, and I actually love that. So I've been really enjoying this game, probably more than I should, and I'll be the first person to admit that this game probably isn't as good as I'm making it out to be. I'm just really enjoying playing it. So yeah, the fact that like I like this game a lot definitely doesn't make this like a top tier game. I just happen to really enjoy the different kind of pools that this game draws from. Like you've heard people talk about this game, and there's no doubt every time somebody speaks about this game, 2 things they say: Valkyria Chronicles and Danganronpa. I'm fucking 100% positive anybody that's talked about this game has mentioned those 2 games while talking about it. And while that's kind of fair, I don't really think it's that accurate, because while I understand what they're saying, it's so just kind of like a sliver of those games is taken. It's really not that accurate. Yes, the battle parts are kind of like Valkyria Chronicles, but at the same time, that's really it. Like, nothing else about the game. And the Danganronpa things, the whole trial thing is, I can see the thing, like, what people mean, but I wouldn't describe it as that because it's kind of different, you know what I mean? But I understand why people like to draw comparisons to other games. But this game doesn't do those things nearly as well as those two games. And that's why I don't like it when people will compare things to other things. Because if you go into this game thinking you're going to get Valkyria Chronicles mixed with Danganronpa, you're probably going to be disappointed. But if you go into this game thinking it is its own thing, then you're probably going to enjoy it. And I am really enjoying it despite, people pushing those comparisons down my throat. Overall, really cool. I think I'm a little over halfway through. It shows like the tower that you're kind of traversing to the top to find the main enemy whose name is the End. It shows your progress, and I'm right around the halfway mark through the tower. But the thing is, like, as you can imagine, as you go, the levels get harder and take longer. So it'll probably take me, longer to finish the game. Well, that's what I would imagine at least. But really enjoying it, and yeah, I really don't have too much negative to say about this game, other than some things, being reused, a lot of reused assets, even though the levels of the tower do seem quite a bit different. But the dialogue, I wish there was more in the dialogue department. It seems like you're reading a lot of dialogue a lot, and at first it was alright, but it starts to become kind of repetitive. And I wish that they did more with it, like maybe made it funnier in some way, or did something to kind of make the dialogue more interesting and kind of cut down on the volume of dialogue. But that's me nitpicking. Overall, fantastic game. I would say that I would compare it more to Natural Doctrine than Valkyria Chronicles, which is another fantastic game that I need to finish. I just played through the first couple of chapters of this game. This game is brutally, brutally difficult. But again, amazing. And after playing this, I really got, I'm not going to say it, I really wanted to play this game. So yeah, this is probably next on the chopping block after this. But I would say that the gameplay of this game, the battle sequences remind me more of Natural Doctrine than Valkyria Chronicles, but not as in depth, and definitely not as difficult, but still really good. And that's it, guys. That's what I've been playing. I've been watching some anime too. Oh, you know what? I played Limbo. It's free on PS Plus. That game's awesome. I bought it for the 360 on a compilation disc, but I decided to play it on the PS4 because it was free on PS Plus. Fantastic game. Super dark. It reminds me of like Lord of the Flies, like mixed with like the Donkey Island from Pinocchio. Just something really evil and menacing about it that I really enjoy. Very atmospheric. Not a big platformer or puzzle guy, but it's like kind of like Braid, where I was like, I liked enough about it that makes me want to keep playing it. So really good game. There's still a couple more trophies I have to get. Like there's one trophy to beat the game in one sitting and only die 5 times. When I saw that, I was like, some puzzles I died 5 times just trying to figure out one little part. So it'll probably be easier to get that trophy now that I've played through the game, but really good. Really like that game. So yeah, some anime. Welcome to the NHK. I've watched the first 4 episodes of that because it's all I can find on like Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, on my Roku box. That's all I could find, but I want to finish it. I was watching some channel I follow was talking about whatever about anime, and that came up, and then Shintai in the comments said something about how that was a great anime, so I decided to check it out. Those first 4 episodes, I'm hooked. I fucking love what I've seen, but I can't find the rest of them. So that's something I need to do. And then I was going to watch Steins Gate, but then I decided I'm just going to wait until I play through the game, because that's coming out soon. And decided to start rewatching Death Note. So I'm on like episode 12 of Death Note, which I've already seen Death Note, but I really like Death Note, so I'm just going to rewatch that. So I'm probably going to go do that now, watch some Death Note. So that's it for me, guys. If you made it till the end of the video, as per usual, I have a question. I want you guys to tell me, what are some anime that you guys are into that aren't really like flashy battles? Like, don't recommend things like Dragon Ball Z and Bleach, they're like centered on like fighting. Like if I want like an adventure actiony anime, I'm gonna watch Black Lagoon. I'm talking about more like weird stuff, like Welcome to the NHK, or even Death Note. That style of anime, which is less focused on like action and more focused on like story and character development, that type of stuff. So leave your recommendations in the comments if you have any. That is it for me, guys. That's it for this video. I had to, reshoot it because too many shots were fired. But you know what? Fuck it. I might come out guns blazing and just do a whole video of just shots fucking fired. And if you're feeling that, let me know too. If you think, yo, Crack, pump your brakes, don't be a dick, you're so negative, blah, 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 whatever, let me know that too. But Versace, I'm out.